بإسلامي وإيماني أضاء الكون وزمن بإسلامي.
At the very least. Try to find good company. Yeah. If you can't, then stick to yourself. I'm not surrounding yourself with a bunch of I call them people that are low lives, basically. Yeah. That's gonna have an effect on you in your seeking, in your. And I've seen people. I've seen people that came. They had a right vision, right mindset. They had a good background, right, and they had potentials. But what happened? They surrounded some with people that weren't really serious.
In Medina.
In Medina.
Come on,
I'm serious, man.
In the West, in Medina.
In Medina, I'm serious. In the city of the Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet ﷺ is right there. right next to them is Abu Bakr and Umar. And they kind of just fell. Some of them left. Some of them, they're there, but they're still, So all I'm saying, so friends, company, really important. Yeah.
Ustad, next point.
Yeah.
Strategies in seeking knowledge. We just heard one big strategy before we got into it. Surrounding yourself with good people. You mentioned one earlier, which was consistency. And that's a huge, huge topic. It's something that I really noticed in life too. And I noticed the hardest thing in life I saw is consistency. Yeah. To keep something consistent, wallah, it's very hard. If it's every day just bringing this and touching this like this, but doing it every day at this time, it's going to become the hardest thing ever. What are some strategies that we can give advice to our brothers and sisters out there?
In terms of consistency and
different ways, strategies to seek knowledge.
One of the biggest things is that the person has to realize how big and important this knowledge is. They have to understand the weight, how much weight it has. And once they notice this, and they notice how much people need it, and we need it ourselves, then they're gonna have a sense of consistency, and they're gonna have self-discipline.
Yeah.
So it's very important to realize these two things. Once you do that, you're gonna find yourself always having self-discipline. Once you're trying to, go away a little bit, busy with yourself, with other things, trying to just go enjoy yourself, be with a certain company, you're gonna go back to yourself and ask yourself, is this what's really important? Is this what we really need? So once you have that weight on your chest, then this is something that highly motivates a person.
Yeah.
So it's important that we understand the importance of this knowledge, and that's this. An example of this that Allah gives us in the Quran is He says, "لو أنزلنا هذا القرآن على جبل لرأيته خاشعا متصدعا من خشية الله." He says, if we were to send this Quran down on a huge mountain, imagine, you would see it humbling itself, and you would see it fall apart completely from the fear of Allah. He says, وَتِلْكَ الْأَمْثَالُ نَضْرِبُهَا لِلنَّاسِ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ. And these are the examples we give to people so that they think, they give a thought. So if we understand that this knowledge is this huge, there is no way that the person is gonna busy themselves with something that's irrelevant.
SubhanAllah. Okay. What do you think? We're gonna go back and forth in little techniques and strategies. Okay. After a person realizes the importance of the ilm, which is the biggest strategy, I think, you just need to sit down and strategize on the importance of what I'm doing. After that, I'm going to point out some key things. Is it better to study in the morning or afternoon as a student of knowledge?
It's better to
How'd you do it?
It's better to study in the morning. I don't care if you're not a morning person or not. It's better to study in the morning.
Okay.
Prophet ﷺ, he says, hadith is weak, but some scholars have graded it sound. Allahumma barik ummati fi bukuriha. May Allah bless my ummah in its mornings.
SubhanAllah.
Not just mornings, it's early mornings. They say the narrator of this hadith, the companion who narrated this hadith, he used to go out for business, right? When he heard this hadith, he started going out earlier. Allah blessed his business, and what happened? Exploded, opened up. There's blessings that come, especially after dawn, after the dawn prayers. Inna Quran al-Fajr kana mashhuda. The Quran al-Fajr, you recite the Quran al-Fajr, is witnessed by the angels.
It's witnessed.
Right? So, morning, obviously, you're fresh, you're awake, you sleep early at night, you have more energy. And if you look at older people, what is one thing that they do consistently? Sleep early,
wake up
in the morning. Because out of all of life experience that they got, one of the things that they learned is what? Take advantage of mornings. You know, 1 hour in the morning is better than probably 3 hours in the evening.
Yeah.
So you got to study in the morning, all right? Yeah. Before work, before school, whatever it may be. Find the time in the morning. You're not a morning person, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Ustad, does eating affect your study habits? What you eat?
I think it's definitely something that affects your studies, what you eat, and what you consume in your body.
Yeah.
And the Prophet ﷺ in a hadith, in which its meaning he tells us in which its meaning is that the food that what we feel in our bodies should be consisted of 3. ثُلُثٌ لِطَعَامِهِ, so 1 portion, 1/3 for the food, and 1 portion for the drink, and 1 portion for air.
Yeah, keep some space.
Basically give you an extra space. So if we are consuming our stomachs and we are becoming extremely full, then this will make very difficult for us to study and have a good habit of studying. Because once you get full, what is it? The alcohol.
Somebody who's full, I noticed when I'm full,
they get knocked out.
You can't get nothing done.
You can't get nothing.
You just feel like sleeping and relaxing.
And you know what's funny, interesting about that hadith is the Prophet ﷺ, he says, فَإِن كَانَ وَلَا بُدْ فَإِن كَانَ وَلَا بُدْ. As in what? As in, if you have to, you're hungry and you're trying to eat, you're trying to grub on some flock, right? Then 1/3 for your food, 1/3 for your drink, and 1/3 for your air. That should be like when it's
max.
When it's like, max. It should be less than that. Actually, it should actually be less than that. And it's subhanAllah. It tells you like,
how far away
you gotta watch what you eat, what you drink. And then there are some like certain types of food that actually help you in memorization. That's what they say.
Like what?
Some scholars, they say, like raisins.
Raisins.
And they say tamar dates.
Okay.
They say lebanon, milk, certain type of milk. But Allah Alam, if it's true, they say green apples actually affect your memorization. Allah, man, this been attributed to Imam al-Zuhri, rahimahullah, scholar in the Tabi'een. It is said that he said, don't eat green apples, that affects your memory. Allah Alam, this is true. That's what they say. That's what they say.
Don't eat green apples. Advice from me.
Is it eating it or keeping away from it and not eating it?
He said, don't eat green apples.
Okay.
Don't eat green apples. He said it affects your memory.
Okay.
All right.
So eating, I think, has a huge effect on a person's health. So in return, it should have an effect on a person's studies. Because what you eat, it kind of makes up your format.
You are what you eat.
So that does another strategy. Does exercise affect a student of knowledge habits and studies?
It's good, that somebody exercises and keeps his blood flowing. It really helps him, in terms of his memorization, in terms of his readings, in terms of his energy. Really helps him out, if he can dedicate a time of his day. But he shouldn't go overboard with it, He shouldn't make it like his 3, 4, 5 hours a day, just exercising. That's a problem, because the most valuable thing for student knowledge is his time.
Yeah.
Time is of essence, all right? And that's why Imam Shafi'i said, الوقت كالسيف إن لم تقطعه قطعك. The time is like a sword, right? If you don't beat it, it's going to beat you. If you don't cut it, it's going to cut you, right? And some of the early scholars, you study 18, 19, 20 hours a day, 16 hours a day.
SubhanAllah.
So time is of essence. You don't have much time in this life. Knowledge is a lot, and time is little. So you got to be really punctual, knowing when to exercise and how to exercise. You got to keep it balanced. You have to keep good balance.
But some level of exercise is a must to stay healthy.
A must to stay healthy, and just to keep. It helps you in knowledge.
Yeah.
Right. Even if it's just 20 minutes a day, something real nice.
20 minutes a day is perfect. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
Beyond that would be a little bit.
I mean, a few hours.
Or like once a week, Or like if a person's like, it's good to have. Go ahead.
The only mistake is like when people they become like students of knowledge, they want to learn knowledge. At the same time, they want to join like many basketball teams, join sports, and it's good. It's good that you're keeping physically active, but at the same time, you have to really consider the time. Like Sheikh Abdullah said, time is something that's very much against you.
SubhanAllah.
Yeah.
So, Ustad, on our final thoughts, what are some advice that we can give to some of our brothers and sisters out there in regards to seeking knowledge?
In regards to seeking knowledge, the first thing that the person has to have, and it's something that I probably mentioned before and I'm going to keep mentioning again, is sincerity, sincerity, and sincerity. Is to have sincerity. This is something that almost, takes a whole part in you learning the Deen and learning Islam. If you don't have sincerity in what you're learning, then all of your work, all of your efforts, they're gonna go.
It's wasted.
Is wasted, and in fact, is very severe. Is something that's very severe for us to learn something, and we don't have the right intentions for them, and we don't have the right intentions of why we're learning this knowledge, and in fact, we don't act upon it. We don't act upon this knowledge that we're learning. So that's something that I hugely want to emphasize on, is for us to have sincerity and to have the correct intentions of why we're learning the Deen.
SubhanAllah. Ustad Abdullahi, what is one advice that we can give to our brothers and sisters out there that are on the path to seeking knowledge?
In addition to sincerity is obviously
huge,
and it's like the most important thing, right? Is having a vision.
Having a vision.
Why do you want to seek knowledge? Like why? And what do you want to become? Having the right approach, right? Into seeking knowledge.
Yeah.
Ibn Qayyim, he mentions, rahimahullah, he mentions that one of the reasons why you see people seeking knowledge for years and not end up getting as much knowledge is because they don't have the right approach.
Yeah.
They don't have the right approach to seeking knowledge. They don't know, and that all goes back to what we said earlier, having a mentor, having somebody to guide you along the way, having the right approach, doing, seeking knowledge the right way, basically, right?
Makes a big difference.
Makes a big difference. So having the right approach, the right mindset, knowing what to take, what science is suitable for you at this point, what book to take, which halaqah to go to, all this stuff is really important, all right? And consistency, right? أحب العمل إلى الله أدومه وإن قل حديث عائشة. The Prophet ﷺ, he says that the most beloved actions, according to the most beloved are the consistent ones, even if it's little, even if it means 10 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day, right? Consistency, right? And what is the greatest action that you can do? Seek knowledge. Seeking knowledge is the epitome of all of worship. And that's all. I'll leave it at that.
Leave it at that. Close it in.
We gotta leave it
Jamil, inshallah ta'ala, this has been another episode of the Brothers Club here on one of the most key and most important topics, seeking knowledge, which is like some of the ahadith and the ayat and the khairat that we heard today. It's probably one of the most fundamental things in life that one should do and put his or her time in it. Inshallah, we'll leave some resources on the notes, inshallah ta'ala, links to both of these jami'ahs, and look at them if that's the path that you want to take, inshallah ta'ala. And I think there are some restrictions, and maybe some other time, inshallah, we'll have the brothers come back and talk about how to get into some of these jami'ahs, right? Jami'at Medina, Jami'at Riyadh, and it's a great path. You go there, financial, you have full right? No financial burdens.
Full right.
So that's one thing that we can look into, and we'll leave some other notes, inshallah ta'ala, and articles on the importance of seeking knowledge, so we can all benefit. Inshallah, make dua for these beautiful brothers. They are on a greater path of seeking knowledge. Inshallah, make dua for your brother Najib too, and all of us in the ummah, inshallah ta'ala. And we'll close with that. Wassalamu ala man ittaba al-huda.
Jazakallah khair. May Allah reward you for
all your
good. Not doing anything on it. Getting the brothers together.
The main key, putting together all the khair is far greater than the person who just simply comes and talks. Look at it. It's a great thing you're doing. May Allah benefit people with it and benefit us with it as well.
بإسلامي وإيماني أضاء الكون وزمن بإسلامي وإيماني أضاء الكون وزمن